Hey guys, Jamboo here and welcome to the top 5 formations currently in FIFA 23. These are going to help you just get more wins, play better and ultimately have more fun on the game, which is what we all want to do. Nobody likes losing, it's as simple as that, to be honest. But guys, I'm going to show you these formations. If you are new, hit that sub button right now. Do me a huge favour. We're closing in on my dream of hitting 100k and I can only do it with your help. Literally you watching right there. So please hit that sub button. I'd appreciate it a lot. And if you're watching and this has less than 300 likes, hit that like button. But I'm going to stop waffling now. Let's get into it. So, to clarify, these are not the 5 formations that I'm currently using, because you need to use different formations for different things. These are basically the top 5 formations that I would recommend starting a game in. So they're 5 of some of the most popular, common and effective formations in the game. So the first one is the 4-4-2, very popular every year. I'm sure most of you guys have used this formation, I'm sure most of you have come up against it. The 4-4-2 just offers a good balance. It's a little bit more attacking than it is defensive, but it's still defensively good as well. So what I'm going to do for each of these is I'm going to give you some general custom tactics that I'd recommend using for each formation as well. So you can see with the 4-4-2, I'd recommend running a press after possession loss. I think the way the formation sort of shapes up in game suits a press after possession loss well. You have obviously a flat 4 midfield that are going to press up the pitch and then still have a back line intact as well. So press after possession loss, you guys can see there the other things I recommend. These are just sort of a baseline for you to try and you're not going to go wrong with these tactics. So you can see there, that is how I'd line it up in game. Only thing I would do is swap the left footer onto the left and the right footer onto the right, just for those Trivela shots, even though they're not what they once were. In terms of the instructions, you want get in behind on both the strikers, come back on defence and get in behind on the wingers, everything left balanced on the centre mids, and then stay back while attacking on all of the defenders. Pretty simple. The 4-4-2 is quite a basic formation, but one that you can create some nice attacking patterns in as well. As you can see, there's triangles all over the pitch, from Mbappe to De Jong to Valverde, you know, the wingers to the striker to the centre mid. You've got all sorts of different attacking patterns that you guys can play around, and the 4-4-2 is very effective. Next up, we have its partner in crime, the 4-2-3-1. These two are probably the most popular 2 formations in FIFA history, to be honest with you. I don't think there's ever going to be a FIFA released where the 4-4-2 and the 4-2-3-1 aren't just very usable. What makes the 4-2-3-1 so good, you may ask? You've got 2 CDMs, which is automatically a massive plus. It makes it so much easier to defend. And also the patterns you get in attack in this formation are nice too. The biggest negative is you obviously only have 1 striker, but you can get away with that a little bit due to having basically 3 cams behind him. So it's not like you're short in attack, but it's definitely not quite as good as the 4-4-2 in an attacking sense. A lot better defensively though. So this is what I'd recommend with the 4-2-3-1. It's not really a formation you want to be pressing a lot with. It's one where you're more seeing out games and controlling the possession. So you can see here we've gone with balanced, 45 on the depth as well. Direct passing, 7 players in the box, which is useful because that brings one of your CDMs coming a little bit forward as well. That is how I'd recommend lining it up. Same sort of concept as the 4-4-2. You've got your left footer on the left, your right footer on the right. I recommend having a 5-star player in cam. You know, if it's not Neymar, it can be the likes of Ousmane Dembele. It's just the ball can fall to your cam in a number of angles, and having the 5-star tricks and also the weak foot is super, super effective. Same goes with the striker if you can afford it. You want someone who can hold up the ball, but also dribble, finish on both feet, and, you know, just be reliable in front of goal, especially when you've only got 1 striker. I think that's super, super important. In terms of the CDMs, traditionally in other FIFAs, I like to have 1 sort of ball-playing CDM and then 1 sort of destroyer like a Vieira. This FIFA, I don't think it's quite as important to have it like that. You can just have sort of 2 ball-playing CDMs. Just seems to be the way the game plays this year. You can see I've got Frenkie de Jong and Valverde, who is a little bit of a destroyer, but he's so quick, good on the ball and stuff, that he sort of falls into any category. In terms of the setup for this, what I'd recommend doing is having getting behind on the striker. In terms of the cams, what I like to do is have the middle one set to come back and then just leave the wide ones as they are, because then you have just that counter-attacking option. In terms of the CDMs, it depends how comfortable you are with your defence. You can either leave them balanced, or you can put both on stay back while attacking. Obviously, if you do this, you're going to be a lot more defensively secure, but you're going to have to rely a lot more on the 4 forwards and be confident in your attacking. For me, personally, I'm confident enough in my defending where I'm happy for my CDMs to get involved. You can just have one of them set to stay back as well, which is a nice little balance. Cover wing can be left on as well. People have a misconception that cover wing means your CDM is just going to sit on the wing, but that isn't actually the case. Basically what it does is if your fullback goes forward, the CDM will slot in and cover him just while he's attacking. So it's actually a very useful thing to have on. I would recommend having stay back while attacking on both of the fullbacks though. But that is the 4-2-3-1. One of the most popular formations, if not the most popular on FIFA, and I'd recommend it for seeing out leads, keeping the ball, and just being a little bit cautious. Next up, we have one of my favourite formations from this FIFA. It is the 4-2-2-2. Similar in a lot of ways to the 4-2-3-1, except you're changing that middle cam for an extra striker. So it really depends what you like. You can see here, it is a formation I'd recommend pressing with. I like to attack in this formation. I think it offers a lot going forward. So press after possession loss, 72 depth, which triggers the offside traps, and then 70 on the width, 7 players in the box. That is how I line my one up in game. Nothing too crazy going on there. Getting behind and stay forward on both the strikers. I have balanced on both of the cams. And then stay back while attacking on both of the forwards. I think, unlike the 4-2-3-1, because this has the 2 strikers, you can rely a little bit more on that front 4, because you obviously have an extra guy who's more forward than what he would have been in the 4-2-3-1, if that makes sense. So you literally have a front 4 and then 2 CDMs just anchoring the defence. It is extremely useful. Stay back while attacking, and I also use step up instruction on my defenders if it's a more aggressive style that I'm playing. Basically, if the ball comes into your opponent's striker and you have step up on, your defender's just going to apply more pressure on the ball and they're going to win it back for you. So I find that very useful. That is the 4-2-2-2, and it's very, very popular as well. Next up, we have a less popular formation, one that's really come to life. I've got a full in-depth video on this formation on my channel if you guys want to check it out. I thoroughly recommend it. I show in-game clips and stuff like that. It is the 4-3-3 fifth variation, which has the false 9. This is absolutely insane, this setup. I think without the instructions, this formation is not that great. So it's very important you get those right. Otherwise, you are going to struggle. You can see I've gone on my traditional press after possession loss, 72 on the depth. Forward runs rather than the direct passing on this setup. And the reason for that is sort of tied into what we do with the instructions. So you guys will see. Basically what you have is a getting behind, stay central, centre forward, which effectively is just a striker. You're not really going to notice any difference at all. You then want stay forward, cut inside, get in behind, and get into the box for cross on the wingers. And they're essentially going to be like inside forwards. It works super well. And then the get forward on the centre mids is basically going to give you a front 5. It is ridiculous. I know a lot of you that have used this setup have been commenting about how ridiculously good it is and you've been winning games, so that's great to hear as well. So you effectively have a front 5. You have an anchoring CDM, and then all of your defence set to stay back. These are the best attacking tactics that I've used probably on any FIFA, so I definitely recommend you guys checking them out. And do let me know what you think, because I think they're incredible. The last one is another popular formation. It's one that I feel has not been as good in recent years, but it's making a little bit of a resurgence at the moment. It is the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. Some people absolutely love this. They live by it. These are the tactics I would recommend. I'm not the biggest fan of this formation, but it definitely does have its uses. You can pack the midfield in and just get a lot of options centrally. So that is the tactics I recommend. In terms of the instructions, you want get in behind. Important that you put comeback on defense on the cam, because what's basically going to happen is when that cam comes back, it almost changes into like a 4-4-2 when defending. So it makes you a lot more stretched and you just cover more of the pitch. So I recommend doing that. I think cover wing on the centre mids is very important here, because in this formation you need your fullbacks to get involved, which means that a centre mid covering, there's no harm in that, you know. So cover the wing. You want overlap on your fullbacks, and then an anchoring CDM, cover centre, stay back while attacking, and that is the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. But guys, these are in my opinion the best 5 formations just to start with on FIFA at the moment. If you have any other shouts, do let me know. If there's any formations you want me to do a video on, I am all ears. But guys, if you enjoyed it, please do leave a like. Do me a huge favour and hit that subscribe button. I super appreciate it. I'll catch you on the next one. Good luck in your foot champs, and peace.